What is up? This is the Epomaker Tide 75, a new $119 75% keyboard made of 6063 aluminum, and it offers all the perks of a custom mechanical keyboard plus all the advantages of a branded pre-built with all the bells and whistles. Now I'll start with the specs. Everything out there is tri-mode, even though you might not utilize it so much. It's 2024, and if everyone is making a tri-mode keyboard, you have to make them too, or else customers will just buy the ones with the most options. In wired mode, you have to slide the switch towards the USB-C port over this side, and then you gotta hit function and T, and then you will have some kind of audible confirmation from your computer, and then you are connected. On wireless mode, whether it's Bluetooth or 2.4, you slide this towards where the dongle is, and then if you want 2.4, you press function P and it will connect to the 2.4 dongle, which I have not have it connected. It's right over here, magnetically attached right here, and that's how you connect it in 2.4. To connect Bluetooth, you leave the switch facing towards the dongle again, and then you hold your usual function Q, W or E, depend on what you want to pair it with. If you want to pair it Q with your phone, you can pair W with your, say, your iPad, and you can press function E to pair with your laptop, and then you select it on your laptop. The Tide 75 shows up, you pair it, and then when you want to use it, all you need to do is just function and toggle the Q, W or E depending on what equipment you have bound to the keyboard. Now in wireless mode, you got a 4000 milliamp battery, and from my experience with other keyboards with 3000 milliamp batteries, they seem to last a month if you avoid turning on the RGB like I do right now. Usually what I have, I cycle them to the function where you have the reaction RGB. So when I type the key and then there's some lights going on, that'll save you some batteries. But if you have the colors on all the time, then it's going to eat up your batteries a little bit more quickly. It might last you, the batteries might last you a week or less or more, I'm not too sure. But that's not how I run my RGB lights if I am on wireless mode. The customization interface is web-based, so this is a huge win for anyone concerned with privacy issues, or if you work for the government. It's QMK or VIA compatible. Those are the famous web-based user interface, and I'm glad to see that most or more good companies are moving towards web-based drivers that make this option as standard. It's very good. So besides being tri-mode, you also have a hot swappable PCB, and a hot swappable PCB means these switches come out. These switches can come out. There you go. Hot swappable PCB means you can change out your switches for whatever reason, and it also supports most 3-pin or 5-pin switches. These are 5 pins. Some 3-pin switches only have the middle part and the 2 metal parts sticking out. It also comes with south-facing LEDs. Those are LEDs that are at the 6 o'clock position. Those are called south-facing LEDs, and I don't know for what particular reason, but south is the coveted position for your RGB lights according to the custom keyboard community. It also means you can use side printed shine through keycaps, and you'll be able to see the keys quite easily with the side print. Myself, I prefer regular type of keycaps without the RGB shine through, mostly because I have a very bright key light on top. You can see the light is very bright, shining now on the keyboard, and believe it or not, it is pretty difficult for me to see the RGB lights because my lights are so bright. But if your space does not use any kind of bright overhead light, this will not be a problem. Oh, by the way, the keycaps are OEM profile. OEM profile means you have that cut there, that shape on the keyboard. That's called OEM profile. And these keycaps are double shot PBT, which means there is a white color plastic inside, and then on the outside skin there is the actual color. So it is about 1.42 millimeters thick or 1.43 millimeters thick, so that's pretty good. It greatly adds to the clacky sound of the keyboard if you like clacky sounds. If you don't like clacky sounds, you could potentially switch out these keycaps to something you like if you know what you're doing. There are all kinds of options in the custom keyboard world. You can change out the switches to switch out the sound. You can change out the keycaps to switch out the sound. The Tide 75 also comes with very nice Epomaker branded lemon switches. It's a 5-pin linear that I showed you just now with a POM stem. Now this POM stem means polyoxymethylene, which is like an ultra low friction material as you press the key, so you know it's super smooth. The switches bottom out at 3.5 millimeters, where normal switches are at around 4 millimeters. This means the actuation point is about halfway when you press down the switch. So on normal switches, 4 millimeter switches, the actuation is at 2 millimeters. On this switch, where it bottoms out at 3.5 millimeters, the actuation is at 1.6 millimeters. So what you're gonna get is a feeling that it is very fast. You're gonna feel like you press the switch and it actuates a little bit faster than your regular keyboards, just because of that actuation point at 1.6 millimeters instead of 2 millimeters. It's suitable for gaming. Some people might also find this too sensitive, but in my experience, I feel like it just takes a while for you to get used to. If you're coming from 2 millimeter switches and then you switch to these, it just takes a day or two to get used to the actuation point. Once you get used to it, you're good to go. You're dialed in. It's not going to be a problem. Also, did I mention this has a media knob? Now this media knob is pretty satisfying to turn. It controls the volume in increments of 2 units. So if you're going from 80, one notch it goes up to 82. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you, what I mean by it goes up in increments of 2 units. Lastly, of course, I have to talk about the gorgeous and brilliant finish. The colors on this keyboard is absolutely amazing. It's anodized purple, as you can see, very nice brilliant purple. There are 4 colors to choose from. There's a black, pink, blue. Those are the 3 other colors. However, the blue keyboard doesn't have an anodized finish, but instead has an electrophoretic finish, which in layman's term is like a powder coating, and it leaves the aluminum highly impact resistant. Not like the anodized one doesn't, but that is a different kind of process of painting your keyboard, so to speak. And it also costs $20 more because powder coating is an expensive process. It uses electric to bond your paint to the aluminum, so it's like a tough powder coat in baby blue. And if I'm being honest, you can close your eyes and blind pick any of these 4 colors and you'll be extremely happy. Now let me recap. 75% tri-mode 6063 aluminum keyboard with a mirror PVD backplate, mirrored PVD backplate is gorgeous. It's chrome. It weighs 1.8 kilos or 4 pounds. Comes in anodized black, purple and pink, or in powder coated baby blue. Super quick lemon switches that actuate at 1.6 millimeters with a super smooth palm stem. Double shot PBT keycaps, 1.4 plus millimeters thick. QMK/VIA web UI support means no one's going to be spying on you. No extra bloatware that can compromise your PC. Last but not least, the keyboard also uses an FR4 plate. Ask the keyboard geeks, they'll tell you it's good. Also, there's 5 layers of sound dampening materials: Poron PCB plate foam, IXPE switch foam, PET noise cancellation pad, Poron case foam, and PET insulation pad. I totally did not read that from their website brochure. Anyway, here's what it sounds like. Not a bad sound, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the Tide 75 by Epomaker, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.